Good evening. Live from New York, the CC Radio Network is proud to bring you tonight's show, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc, where we talk about religion like you've never heard before. There's no evangelists here, just talk about religion with a twist. So let's get started and have some fun. Welcome our hosts for tonight, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc.
There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is only this world and its dark reflection.
We can hear from Chad, so.
We're on.
And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Rebellious Rev and the Doc. I'm the Rev.
And I'm the Doc, and we are here to welcome you to another Friday edition of our show.
Today, we're going to do a lot of, I don't know what we're going to do. I'll tell you, if we didn't know what date it was, except for a few little things like Mexico and this, the news would be the same as last week and the week before. More revelations about Hillary emails, more controversy about Trump.
Well, you know, they say the more things change, the more they remain the same, and that's basically true. You know what the problem is? We hit the height of this political campaign during the debates and the conventions. And after the conventions, you know, I mean, it's like a letdown. You know, Hillary is in some respects, sometimes she sinks to Donald's level and, you know, throwing epithets. He's always throwing epithets, you know. One of the political journalists said that, you know, Trump is hoping that at least Gary Johnson will be on the stage with them because this way he doesn't have to concentrate solely on Hillary. You know, if it's one-on-one and Hillary asks him a question, he really has no place to hide.
Well, first thing is that they can't ask each other questions, I don't think.
They can
rebuttal.
Well, in a rebuttal they can, because then how many times did you hear during the Republican campaign, you know, somebody would want to jump in and say, well, I'd like to respond to that because he mentioned my name, you know. And
yeah, but sometimes they don't want to respond.
Well, sometimes they don't,
yeah.
You know, but I mean, Trump never lets anything go by, so...
Well, the only thing is they announced the moderators.
I know. Lester Holt is going to be the first one. Martha Raddatz and Anderson Cooper are going to be the second. And
Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace from Fox the third. And I like them all. You know,
unfortunately,
they're all very fair.
They're all very fair, and they're all extremely, well, three of them are actually liberal, even Chris Wallace is. They're all Trump haters.
Well, look, they don't consider Trump a true Republican, you know.
No, but say, listen, you know, Lester is very pro-Hillary. He hates Trump. Anderson Cooper has been after Trump for a while now. You know, these people, they're not true reporters. Neither is Chris Wallace, none of these, because once they start giving opinions about everything, they're no longer reporters, they're commentators.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They all say they're reporters, but they're not. They're commentators.
Well, that's why, you know, you don't have the caliber of journalists that you used to have with Walter Cronkite, Huntley Brinkley, Dan Rather, you know, Tom Brokaw.
Who's that? Not Dan Rather. Who's the other guy that's been around coming back? He's an older gentleman. I think he used to be on CBS also.
Yeah, on Channel 2. He used to do Face the Nation, and then he retired.
What's his name?
I keep forgetting. He's not Morley Safer.
No. I think Morley Safer said it, dead, isn't he?
Always wears purple socks. You know, that's his trademark. But he's an old timer he goes back to the Cronkite and Huntley Brinkley days, and he also.
I was listening to him the other day, and he didn't seem to favor one side or the other.
Because that's how it should be. The only time I ever heard Cronkite take a stand was when he came back from a tour in Vietnam, and he was doing a little editorializing. And he said, it appears to this reporter that the only way out of Vietnam is with a negotiated peace because there is no victory in Vietnam. And it's the understanding of everyone concerned that when LBJ heard that, the day after, he said, well, if we've lost Walter Cronkite, we've lost the country. We've lost the nation. And basically, it's true. People believed him, and they listened to him. And he very rarely gave an opinion, but that was the one time that he said, this war is not winnable.
But he said, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, when these guys knocked Trump or they knocked Hillary, it's done on both sides. They don't say it's my opinion. They start, saying really, nasty things about both of them.
Well, look, I'm a strong Hillary supporter. I really wish it was Bernie. And I tell you, I think a lot of people are wishing it was that it was Bernie now, too.
Yeah.
But she just, every time she opens her mouth or something happens, it seems like she's putting her foot in it. And there's a limit to how much people are going to believe. I mean, let's face it, people they don't trust her. That's not to say that they have any more faith in Donald Trump. It just means that they, according, like Ted Cruz said, vote your conscience. They're voting for somebody else.
When the FBI interviewed her, there were 39 times she said she didn't remember. General questions. They weren't specific stuff.
Yeah, I know. They said, what's your name? She said, I don't remember.
Yeah, basically. And they also said, look how they did it. When the FBI, when Hillary got interviewed, it was a day before a 3-day holiday.
Yeah, so they all want a break, and
then Monday morning, they had right away the decision. No time. They said there was no real time for the news to really spread much. And the same thing today. They released it on a holiday weekend, the Friday, where most people are not worried about politics or listening, and they, planning their holiday weekend. A lot of them already went on the holiday weekend, and the hope is by Monday, Tuesday, when people are back to work, the story's forgotten already. When everything they do is calculated, even when when the State Department releases stuff.
Well, and then they came earlier in the week. They came out with the statement that Bill Clinton came out with the statement that if Hillary is elected, they're gonna sever ties with the Clinton Global Initiative because it wouldn't be right. But what every reporter has said is, why didn't they do this much earlier? First of all, she should have done it when she was Secretary of State.
Well, she signed an agreement. She signed a letter of agreement to Obama saying she's not going to be associated with it.
Well, but what they're saying now is when you meet with a head of state who has a lot of money, who's to say that the questions about the global initiative don't come up, But when they're just talking amongst themselves, and hell, putting Chelsea in charge of it.
It's the same thing as them being in charge.
I mean, it's the same thing. She's their daughter. It should be put into receivership. Maybe receivership is a wrong word. It's almost like equated with like going bankrupt or something. But they should appoint somebody like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates to run the global initiative where those decisions that he makes have nothing to do with the running of the country, you know?
You know, it's just a bad situation. And by the way, when the AP mentioned 150 people that came to see her to ask for favors, and half of them got their favors done, these were not government officials. These are all private individuals. The AP didn't include any government officials in their research.
But at least, at least they got to sit at a table with her at a banquet, and it wasn't like Trump University where you have your picture taken with Trump, but it was a cutout picture of Trump,
Well, Clinton has his own controversy with the university.
Speaking of Putin, you know what?
I said Clinton has his own controversy.
Oh, Clinton. I thought you said Putin.
No, Clinton has his own controversy with the university. He got paid like $60 million to be an honorary something of a university where he had no duty.
Well, I hate to tell you, you know what that sounds like. That sounds like your friend's Brother Michael, Bishop Michael, whatever his name is. You said Clinton had a degree from there too? Hello?
Yeah, right. It wasn't. Well, no, it wasn't Clinton. Who was it?
No, you did. You said it was Clinton.
Oh, I don't remember. Probably, yeah.
They showed his picture when you went through looking. Yeah.
That's his PhD that he got, Clinton.
Hey, listen. It boils for Hillary and Bill. It boils down not just them, but it boils down to the same thing. Why did they do what they did? Because they could. That's all.
And they were talking to
and they probably think that the American people are really stupid. But the American people and especially the press, they pick up on everything. So you better be damn well sure.
Yeah, well, what happened was I think it was called Clinton University scandal netted $60.5 million. It's funny how that never came up in the news.
Maybe that's where Chelsea got her master's degree.
Well, it's a for-profit university.
Aren't most universities for profit?
Yeah, some of them are not.
I mean, they can't function unless they make money.
We're losing him. We shouldn't be doing that. Why do they always play these ads and I don't know how to get rid of them?
On my watch.
Sometimes they say skip the ad, but most of the time they don't.
There. All better. Scotch brand products work the first time, every time.
You fixed it.
So be hands-on with Scotch brand.
See that? You could be a surgeon. Look at that.
Yeah, we're getting to be a big-time show. We have promotions.
But
now what happened here? I'm supposed to be getting a news story, and all I'm getting is Scotch tape.
Vicente Fox, getting back to Mexico, former president, said, "There's no way the Mexican people," he said, "are going to pay for something that's built in the United States."
So they could build
But you
the
and
wall.
I- but like-
but they could build the wall in Mexico. Then it doesn't matter.
But you and I discussed it before I came over, and the bottom line is there are different ways that he can get Mexico to pay. Maybe they won't pay out of pocket, but he can charge them. He could deduct the cost of the wall from the aid that we send the Mexican people. But you see, the problem is that's cutting your nose off